Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Rylas Dana. How you doing, Rylas?
Great. I always love participating and being a part of this channel. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, folks. Rylas wears many hats on this channel. He is a probate and estate attorney in California, Arizona. Last week, for example, he brought us, or 2 weeks ago, he brought us dynasty trusts. So check that out. But also, every now and again, we talk to Rylas, the investor. So that's going to be one of these conversations. People on my channel know I locked up my first deal out of the MLS in the last 3 years. It feels so good to get a deal in the MLS because that's what I built my career on. So I want to talk to Rylas, the investor. What are you seeing in Phoenix? Because Phoenix is all over the news. Price declines, inventory growth. So what's going on in Phoenix?
Yeah, last time was fun. I forgot we got real technical. Now we'll go kind of the other way, other hat. But what I really love about my job is I get to meet so many different people. So I'll tell you what I'm doing in my buy box, my little zip code I've been watching. And there's now like 266 listings in there. There's
Awesome. Where, just so people know, a year ago, how many?
like
Maybe.
40, 27.
Wow. Wow. So
Uh,
that's like 7x.
yeah, and it would just turn so fast. Like 2 years ago, there'd be
Right.
like, it was all brand new. 2 weeks later, there's been like a few properties, I guess, that I guess just wish pricing that have been on there for years, right? So there's like 4 or 5 of those that I'm used to seeing.
Sure.
But yeah, now there's a ton of stuff. So there's so what I've been doing is I go on Zillow or a realtor and sort by the newest. There's not a way to do
Okay.
the oldest, but I sort by the newest and I go to the last page.
Ah, there you go.
So I'm because I want
That's
to look
good.
from the bottom up,
Yep.
who's been there the longest. And I there's a lot of in our market, there's a lot of open door, offer pad, some of those. So
Yeah.
I
So let me ask about, so in your buy box, you would have some open door offer pad listings, perhaps. That true?
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've seen others in similar buy boxes is they've noticed around day 60 that they get very aggressive, meaning they'll take almost any offer, or not any offer, but they'll take something significantly below list price. Have you written any of those offers yet, or maybe not yet?
Not so much. So what I'm looking for is more term deals, seller finance
Oh,
deals.
oh, that's right. Okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
really, I've been skipping those just because that's
Okay.
less likely they're gonna do. But
Oh yeah, they want cash. They want to get their money out. You're right.
yeah, so I've been skipping those and focusing on things that have been on the market a long time.
Yeah, and
And
actually, open, and that's funny because in that example, Open Door may help you because like if your mom and dad and you're listed between two Open Door properties, you as an investor can say, hey, these other ones are going to be discounting. Would you like seller financing or some kind of sub two or whatnot? So really use that. The fact that your inventory is up 7 times from 40 to 260 or whatever it was, that's crazy. That just tells you that Phoenix was really inflated by iBuyers. It was really that's rough.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just trying to be patient, right? Where I really love your content lately. It's always good, but it's always timely, which is nice. All the different experts that you bring on, and
Thank you.
um,
Yeah.
the worse it gets is actually the better it gets for investors, right? It's just more likely that people are going to be motivated and they'll be open to terms and other things that they wouldn't have thought about last year.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. What we're seeing in a market today, and wow, 7x, you're going to see it even faster than most, is some sellers have to sell. And I'm not talking Open Door and offer pad because they're going to sell for cash because they just want their liquidity back. But there's a mom and dad out there somewhere. It's their second home or they want to move to Florida or whatever it is. They bought 10 years ago, so they have plenty of equity. They're like, honey, we're done, right? You could see these conversations over the kitchen table. Honey, just take it. That's what happened to me, right? There was a property that was on the market for weeks. Everybody could have seen it. We wrote an offer 25% below list, and they took it. They're like, we're done. They don't longer live there. They're out of the state. They just want to be done with it, and they want to be done with it this year. So we did a cash deal, close in 10 days, and I close on Monday. So it's out there. You will find your seller. You just got to keep going. And you're right. Do the work and don't give up. I think so many people give up just at the wrong time.
Yeah, yeah. Another interesting trend that you've kind of pointing out on your channel is that rents may be lowering.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be looking at my market, closer to, because I did kind of see that, what people were asking for, they could get it. And some of that may be just, timing when more people were moving. But now if you're trying to do things, at this time, there may be more rental inventory out there.
I think you're right. I think there's a couple of things. And again, Phoenix is going to be like this little microcosm of what's going on. Because a lot of people came to Phoenix and were doing Airbnbs. Some of the Airbnbs, near golf courses and whatnot, will always do okay because they have the amenities and all of that. But a lot of them down selected quality, and they're going to pay the price. Their nightly rates, their bookings are all down. You may see a lot of furnished rentals coming, and I do think Airbnbs may cause some single family rents to fall. Initially, I thought apartment rents would fall and houses would be safe, but I think in some markets, houses are going to come down, and I think Phoenix is going to feel it for sure.
Yeah, because on the rental side, like renting single family homes, there wasn't many options because most landlords were doing Airbnb.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, it made sense. At least in 2021, it did. Absolutely. The one thing I would watch for is the iBuyers, because the iBuyers could pivot in a moment. Now, I'm not saying they will pivot, but if they did, and what do I mean by that? Let's say Open Door had 1,000 units in Phoenix. They could either slash and burn, sell out to some Wall Street private equity, or they could say, you know what? We missed the window. We're going to rent all of these out and we'll sell next summer. If they did that and they suddenly became rentals, ooh, that could really hurt inventory as well.
Yeah, I think either way on those, it's kind of the same effect, right? You're saying either, Wall Street buys it and they become rentals, or Wall Street holds it and they become rental. It's kind of what, so
you
really
just got to watch.
Yeah, to see if those are going to trickle, on the market at a discounted price, or if they go as a package. And I guess we're still kind of watching that. There's been talks of it, but I haven't seen any, or I'm not aware of any big purchases yet.
You got to imagine. So right now they're in Q4, right? October is month 1 of Q4. You have to imagine a lot, these companies are going to be like Zillow, right? Zillow last year got out and they did a big sell. I think they sold 1,000 or 900 units right at the end of Q4 to some private equity. I mean, Open Door cannot keep bleeding like this. They got to tie it off. So it'll be very interesting to see what's going on. Are you aware? Are they still buying, or are they only selling? Do you have any idea? If you don't know, it's okay.
I still get targeted ads.
Oh, there you go. It's crazy. I guess so.
Yeah. So it's like, gosh, like,
what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I still see the ads, and
but are you aware of what builders are doing? Like, do you have builders in your buy box, like net new inventory, or you're looking at older stuff?
Not so much in my buy box. It's mostly older, already developed stuff. There's not a lot of new builds in there. So
yeah, I would figure, but I thought I would ask. So what do you think? What is normal in Phoenix? Is like November, December usually a slow time, or maybe because the weather is not 1,000 degrees, it's actually a busy time?
I honestly don't know. I think there's kind of different buyers, where, and I think right now there's not as many Canadian buyers, because of other things, but at other times there was a more favorable exchange rate. So it seems like in the winter, like we had a lot of those buyers. But again, I'm not the person that would know those numbers. So
okay, I think they call those snowbirds. I think I've heard Laura Morby refer to them last year as snowbirds, where they leave Canada because it's freezing and they come to Phoenix.
Yeah, we call them snowbirds. They say in Arizona, you can tell it's fall because the colors of the license plates change.
That makes sense.
So
I like that. That's cute. Okay,
so we're definitely seeing that. You can tell people are back. There's a a lot more traffic, and it's got a jacket on here in Arizona again. I mean, it's probably gonna be 80 degrees by
Oh no, he's got a
by
jacket.
noon,
It's 80.
but it's chilly this morning.
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
So yeah, Phoenix is going to be really wild to watch. I think between Thanksgiving and New Year's, you always have an opportunity. Somebody needs to sell, but I think Phoenix is going to be an interesting market for the next year. So every now and again, Rylas, on our weekly calls, we will just check on Rylas the investor. Cool with that?
Yeah, I like it. Keep me accountable. So I appreciate the content, and I've been looking for my deal as well, into the year. So I've been gearing up, really getting familiar with my buy box. And so during the day, a lot of times I'm doing my day job. So at night, when I've been building my spreadsheet and making a list of people that I want to contact, so that way when I have available time during the day, I got calls I can make, and
Awesome.
keep
Yeah.
having conversations and see what's going on.
Yeah, every phone call is a step as a step closer to a yes answer. If somebody wanted to follow you or reach out for estate planning or probate in California or Arizona, how would they reach out?
You can go to rylasdana.com, first and last name. You'll find a link to my website there. You'll also find a link to our playlist together. So my playlist on this channel, and then also my Mott Legal YouTube channel. That's where I do probably the most content just related about real estate and law, kind of my world.
Yeah. And if you want to see a great deep dive, Rylas was gracious enough to give us almost an hour and a half of this time a few weeks ago. There's a playlist called Deep Dive, where we talk about estate planning and probate and things like that. So Rylas, thank you very much. Have a great week. We'll talk next week.
Thank you.
You got it.